Hey everyone, how are you? This is Jeanette from Boricua Sewing Crafts. I wanted to do a really quick live because something happened to me today and I wanted to share it with all of you guys. Okay. Um, it's something that happened that I was it kind of like ticked me off, you know. So today, my body's a little sore, right? Because I moved my son into his dorm on Sunday and it was a lot of work, right? 3 flights of steps, unfortunately he was on the top. So I had to help him lug all his belongings and everything. So, this morning I got up and I said, let me go to the gym. Okay. And hey guys, hey Miss Miles, hey Teresa. I wanted to talk to you guys about what happened today because I want to share this story with you guys because I don't want this happening to you. Okay. Um, But anyway, I went to the gym because, my muscles are a little sore and everything. I wanted to sit in the sauna and the steam room and everything because I wanted to, see if I could help with the muscles and all that kind of stuff. Hey, guys. So glad you guys can join in because I'm a little down, but I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. It's, crap happens, right? But I really want to share this. So anyway, I wanted to go to IHOP, so I went to IHOP and I get this email. What did the email say? I got an email from Etsy saying that one of my items got taken down for copyright infringement. So I'm like thinking to myself, what? I'm like, all the stuff that I've done on my shop is stuff that, designs that I had bought. And before I bought them, I made sure that it was stuff that I could use to create other designs to put on my shop. And all my dinner napkins are just designs that I bought that I could put for napkins and all my kitchen towels. I made that stuff. But it happened that, I started to get into these pin things, right? Because I started going to these wholesale China websites and I saw like these really cute pins. I saw some for sewing and I thought those were really cute. So I was like, oh, well, let me buy a bunch and then I can put them on my Etsy shop. Somebody wants to buy them. And then I saw all these pins with COVID. And I said, let me, put those too, because, everybody's trying to get vaccinated. It'd be cute for everybody to wear them and stuff. And at the same time, I could make a little, chump change on the side, to help pay for Cardio's dorm. So anyway, the copyright was for one of those pins. It was for one of those COVID pins, right? So I was kind of like, how could that be copyright? I mean, I bought them from somewhere, right? So Etsy took down that one listing, right? But to play it safe, I then went and I deactivated all the listings because I was like, okay, I ain't messing with this. So then I, emailed the person that filed the complaint and said, you said you have the copyright to this. Do you have documentation for that? So he said he provided all that documentation to Etsy. So I'm like, okay. So he didn't want to give it to me. So I'm like, okay. So I started to read more into it, and this is how it's supposed to work. And I hope it's working the way it's supposed to work. Okay. Etsy hasn't said anything, but I know they took it down. So I am hoping that what's happening is that when people are reporting a copyright, they are actually providing the documentation to Etsy to verify that it is in fact a copyright. I'm hoping that that's the case, because one of the things that kind of ticked me off was I thought this dude is probably trying to take down my listing because I'm selling it cheaper than he is. So, he's probably mad because people started buying from me and now they stopped buying from him. But I'm kind of like, is that the case? But the guy did write back to me and he said this was a design that he created in 2020. Unfortunately, the manufacturers in China and all these other places took his design, is copying them, and now he's filing, complaints against Amazon, eBay, and Etsy. So to me, one of two things. If it is true that he was the true designer, then hey, I got that and I respect that. It's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? And if anything, I feel really sorry for him because I see these pins everywhere. And if he is the designer and it was copyrighted, protected, and, you know, and they went ahead and they mass produced his design and are sending them to, I feel bad for him. I really do, because that's not fair. That's not right. Right. But if he's lying, well, karma will, you know, the way I look at it is I believe the earth, the way it works, you know, you do bad things, they do come back to you. You do good things, they come back to you. If I am hoping that it is a legit copyright claim and that Etsy did its homework and that it, you know, is doing what it's supposed to do, and that my listing was taken down because it was in fact that he had the proper paperwork. I am hoping that. If not, I'm just going to leave it to the universe and he'll get his if it's not. That's how I see it. Well, anyway, but it is what it is. Okay, so fine. So the pins have to come down. So I took down all the pins. However, now I have all these pins. So I don't know what to do with them. So I don't know. I'll figure something out. Maybe I could give them away as gifts or something like that. Okay. So it's not like, you know, it's the end of the world, right? So the other thing that I found was, because this whole situation happened this morning, right? You know, I was kind of like, let me reread these Etsy policies, right? Because sometimes, you know, you kind of read them and then you think you understand them. And then when you do your little Etsy shop and then you start doing all this stuff, and then it's like you could misinadvertently just put something wrong, right? So one of the things that I did was I reread them. And one of the things that Etsy does state on there is they don't allow the reselling of certain items. So in other words, you're not allowed to like sell blanks and stuff like that. So if you have like blank shirts or you know, blank blankets, which I was guilty of doing that because I went and I purchased a whole bunch of the baby quilted blankets and then I started selling them. I didn't know you're not supposed to do that. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to find another way. And I'll probably start doing maybe a Shopify shop. So that way I can buy blanks and sell them, you know. I'll probably have to do that. But I didn't know that that was something that you couldn't do, you know, or I probably read it when I first started. And, you know, I mean, I've had my Etsy shop now for about 3 years. So it's like, you know, you can easily forget about this stuff. You know what I mean? So lesson learned. Okay. And I'm like, shoot, I could have got dinged for that too, you know? And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I was kind of mad this morning and I was like, oh, pissed off and everything. But, you know, just like I stay on the channel and I keep telling you guys, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit. You're going to have your ups. You're going to have your downs. I have them too. I mean, hell, I did a video like I think a year and a half ago over my 36 shirts where that was like the order from hell. But I learned. So I'm just going to look at it as, all right, this is something that, you know, sorry guys. My cousin was trying to call me and I'll have to tell her that I'll have to call her back. You know, sorry. So anyway, sorry about that. I'm just gonna have to, she's over here trying. She's probably thinking that, you know, her phone's not working. Have to call you back. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm live and whatever, but, you know, she's retired now, so she ain't got nothing to call me, you know. That's what happens when your family members start retiring before you. They get bored at home and they call you up. They're like, what you doing? You know? So anyway, it's a lesson learned. You know, it's a lesson learned and stuff like that. But I wanted to share this with all you guys because, sometimes I don't want you guys to get caught up in this kind of stuff. I don't want you, because it's not a good feeling when you get an email and have one of your listings took, taken down and stuff like that. So I personally, I didn't know. I swear, I did not know that that was like considered a copyright thing. And apparently, I guess a lot of people didn't know. But it's like when you go, when you search Etsy and you go vaccinated pins and all that kind of stuff, they're all over the place. Okay, so if it is true that this guy designed some of these pins and now people are like selling them, I feel bad because like that was money that's really due to him, and he's really gonna have a hard time. But out of respect for him and his claim, I'm not going to sell them anymore, and I'm good with it, So I'm like, well, whatever, but it is what it is, right? Things happen and stuff like that. So what does that do in those situations to me? Well, it's going to force me to continue to start being more and more creative. Okay. I love doing my dinner napkins, and I have not put any new designs out there. So I just have to stop being lazy and start making some new designs of dinner napkins and put that out there. I didn't really want to get into the children's clothes, but they are hot items and a lot of people are buying these things. So with that being said, sometimes, when you're creating stuff, it's not just what you want. It's about what other, what your consumers want. So if the people out there are asking for these type of things, then sometimes you do have to kind of like bite the bullet and, give customers what they want, It's kind of like, when you create a design, sometimes you may think it's a funky design. Doesn't really, you'll be like, it's all right. But then next thing you know, you put it on your Etsy shop and it's like a bestseller. Like that kind of happened with Father's Day when I was working on the pocket pillows. I thought that was kind of plain. I mean, all I did was do Papa's spot, and then I was like, I could put Daddy spot, Theo spot, whatever spot, and people just love those pillows, and I was kind of like, really, it's plain, but they sold like hotcakes. So sometimes it's not what you like, and then sometimes also it goes the other way. You create a shirt and you put all this time and effort in the shirt. You think it's like the most beautiful design or it's kitchen towel or, and it just doesn't sell, right, Mello? But it happens, right? So anyway, it's just something that I just wanted to do a quick video to tell you guys what happened. I was pretty bummed about it, but because I was kind of like, oh, easy money, make a buck here or there, whatever, to help Cardio with his books or whatever. But it's all right. I mean, we're gonna make it, Nobody's gonna starve. Mello's still gonna get a bone at the end of the day, right, Mello? Right? So it happens. So I just wanted you guys to know what was going on and all that kind of stuff, because I did post it and say, I was in a crappy mood, stuff like that. So it just happened. So my best advice for you guys, if you do plan on opening a Etsy shop, read those Etsy policies, because you don't want like something to happen and then your shop gets shut down. I don't know if you guys know Eve from the Baby Booty. She had recently posted something. This lady was using I think Harry Potter fabric or something. I don't know what it was, but she was making a lot of sales, and she was getting to the point where she was actually thinking about leaving her full-time job. And thank God that she didn't, because Etsy actually shut down her site. And she went from making all this money to like no money. And I was kind of like, wow, that really sucked. I feel really bad for her. And I could just, when she was giving the video, I could just feel you could just feel the pit in her stomach. And it wasn't like she meant harm. She was creating her own items. It's just something, I guess, was considered copyright. And I think Disney probably just went like, nope, you got to shut it down. And they kind of like shut her down. And, you know, I felt really bad for her. I really, really did. You know, because she said she did try to make it right by contacting Etsy and contacting the person that put in the complaint, but it just didn't work out and stuff. And that's why I'm kind of like really, really super careful when I buy my embroidery designs. I always make sure that it says that I can use it on items that I want to sell, you know, so, and then I try to use it brilliant so that I can make my own designs, you know, like put certain, you know, take little pics and merge them and just make my own stuff. So it is what it is, you know, and stuff. So it's just a bunch of bad news, and they canceled my cruise, you know. I was supposed to finally take a cruise in December. We were supposed to cruise the year before, and then they canceled it. So I said, fine, we're gonna do it this year. So I rescheduled for this year, and then they canceled it again. So I was just like, okay. So I kind of, when they canceled the cruise, I was like, okay, no big deal. That means that I'll have to be selling during Christmas holiday. So I'll still have my, because I thought originally I was gonna have to close the Etsy shop for the holidays, but I guess not. So it is what it is, you know. I mean, what can you do and stuff like that. So, hey, I see some of you guys caught my live here. Hey, Miss Miles and Tracy. I mean, Trisha. I'm sorry. You can tell I'm so like, you know. Hey, Renee. Hey, Kelsey. Hey, Puerto Rican, crafty Puerto Rican. Boricua is in the house. Hello from North Carolina. Just started a hobby. All is going well, and thanks to sharing your knowledge. But oh, Jay, oh, I'm so glad things are going good for you. Keep it up. Don't give up and stuff. I didn't get to see them. The only ones were the ones that Sherry has. Yeah, Miss Smiles. They were cute. I mean, and you know what's so bad is I bought so many of them. So I think what I'll do is I'll just I don't know. I'll probably give them out to customers as a thank you gift. Maybe that's something I can do. Like when somebody buys something off of my Etsy shop, I'll include a pin. You know, I mean, I'll find something. Will Etsy share with you the paperwork that the guy says he submitted to Etsy? You know, Trisha, I want to ask, you know, Etsy. I'm trying to reach out to Etsy to see if it's true. Because I hope it is true. I hope it is true, because I would hate to think that someone's that evil out there. I mean, that's how I look at it, okay? Because the way I look at it is, you know, you know, I mean, you know, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The first thing that went through my mind was, is he just trying to knock me off because I'm in the way of his sales? That's what went through my mind, okay? Because, you know, if you think about it, it's a lot about competition, right? You know, sometimes you can have someone that has an item, someone has something similar, and then what they'll, you know, and then people will say, okay, well, one is priced higher, and then I'll go, you know, the people will lower their price to try to attract the prices and stuff. I was not, you know, to me, I'm gonna be honest, you know, what he was asking for, that was like way overpriced. I was like, okay, that's greedy, you know. I mean, to me, I looked at it. But hey, you know, if people pay for that, you know, like sometimes, you know, me, I don't know, I'm a soft pricer. I consider myself a soft pricer, okay? You know, I mean, a lot of times, even my neighbor, she always comes on and says, you know, you price too low. I guess what it is too is because as long as I make you know, as long as I make back the money for the item that I paid for, right? And then I just add a little bit for my time, you know, and to cover all the materials and stuff, and then just little for my time. Now, I do break my own rule of thumb, okay, which is, I mean, my own rule of thumb. I don't know if I said that right, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You should always pay yourself first, okay? But the thing is, this is not really my livelihood, at least not now, okay? This is just something that I kind of like do on the side because I'm going to retire in about 4 years. So it's my time to really learn and to try to grow the channel and try to grow my knowledge and learn about the machines and everything. And as I learn, I figured I could share it with folks about the things that I learn and everything. But I don't really like focus too much on making millions of dollars or whatever, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody in my house is going to eat, because we're okay, so I don't know, but I hope, I'm going to ask, but I just didn't like that email. It's like a gut feeling, because I was kind of like, what? Because I was like so happy because, at first I was kind of like, oh my God, I don't know how to explain this. When I opened the shop, right, you get a really good feeling when you create something, right, and you put it for sale and somebody buys it, because it's like, wow, somebody, especially a stranger, okay, because when your friends and your family buy, it's like not a big deal, right? Because they love you, so I mean they're gonna buy it and stuff. He's really being a pain, but they're gonna buy from you. But when you actually make a sale, as you can see, Mello's annoyed because I'm ignoring him, right? As you can see, when you make a sale from a stranger, that's a whole other feeling, right? You got the feeling, right, Mello? So it's a feeling of like, wow. I mean, like somebody that does not know me purchased something that I made, right, and is actually willing to pay what I asked. So it's a really, really good feeling. So I have to admit, it was like a high for me, like the first time that happened. And then I wanted to do more, right? So I started making more, kitchen napkins and all that kind of stuff, and making more dinner napkins. I mean, the kitchen towels and the dinner napkins and all that stuff. And then, I started looking at these blanks, and I started seeing a lot of people are buying things from overseas, and they're buying them in bulk, and that's how they get them cheap. And then they go and then they resell it here in the States. So I just looked at, and it's my fault. I should have stayed with my plan, which was selling what I designed and don't get involved in the other stuff. But the thing is, when you look at the resellers here in the US, they're asking a lot of money for some of this stuff. When I looked to see if I purchased overseas, it was a lot cheaper. So it really all started with the baby blankets, the quilt baby blankets. People were like asking for like, $25 for one blanket for me to embroider, and I was like, what? And then when I went online to those wholesalers in China, man, it wasn't even half that price. And I was just like, what? But the thing is, you got to order like about 50 of them, and I was kind of like, I really need 50 blankets, right? So I was like, I just need a handful for myself, and especially if I'm not making that many sales. So I'm like, what am I going to do with all these blankets? Because that's the other thing too. You don't want to, I don't want to end up with a warehouse. I really don't. So I was like, okay, I'll just resell whatever I don't need, That's how I got caught up in that. And then when, you start browsing through those websites, and then I started looking at the blanks, the shirts for kids. They sell them. They sell the embroidery blanks. I mean, cheap. I mean, really, really cheap. And then you go and you buy them here, and they're like $5, $6, $4. And I'm like, that's all they want? I'm like, but I don't need 500 shirts, So it's like, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, but I'll ask Etsy to see if they can do it. So, hey Sheila, sorry this happened to you. Oh, don't worry. Yes, Sheila. It happens. You live and you learn. What the heck, you know? I missed the beginning. Had to see it later. Oh, is his listing up? Yeah, his listing is up. His listing is up. He has, and you know what's so weird is when I looked this guy up, he claimed that he had the design done in 2020 when his Etsy shop just opened up in April. He only has 8 listings, okay, and they're all pins, and I find it real funny. They all came from China, so so I'm kind of like, you know, that's why my whole thing is, I hope he's being honest. If he is, okay. If he's not, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'll just let the universe deal with you, you know, because the way I look at it is, this is just my philosophy in life. When you do wrong, wrong will come back at you. I truly believe in how the energy of the world works. Okay. I always feel like, you know, if you're nice to people and you take care of people and you do the right thing and you don't hurt or whatever, think good things do happen to me. And I have to admit, I have a very blessed life. I really, really do. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes my husband gets mad because sometimes I say, if I was, God forbid, to die like today or tomorrow, I'm okay with that because I feel so grateful for everything that I have, everything that I've gone through in life. You know, not that I'm saying my life was easy, you know, I had some issues too. But I've always, at the end of the day, everything was always okay. And the way I look at it too is sometimes people will be like, oh, you know, you've done so well, you know, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, material things is really just material things. It really is. It's just things. Things can come and things can go, you know. But I really do have a lot of special people in my life, you know, and I'm always grateful for that. And I've had some really great experiences in my life. Maybe one day I'll do a video and tell you guys a little more about me or something. I don't know. But, you know, my life's been like a really good journey, you know. Um, you know, I just, you know, I don't know. I mean, you know, I started from humble beginnings, um, you know, I worked really, really hard, you know. I mean, a lot of times people say, oh, you know, you've done very well, but the thing is, what you see right now is the end result. Okay. I'm not young. A lot of people, I know, you know, a lot of people, you know, they think that because I have a young face and, you know, a pretty bubbly personality, whatever, but I'm not young, you know, I'm up there, you know. But you know, I worked really hard. I worked really, really hard to get where I am today. I worked really hard, you know, to pay for my college education. You know, I drove a cab. I sold watches in the street, you know, to pay my college tuition. You know, I was a single mom. You know, I raised my son on my own. You know, I'm married now, but when my son was, you know, young and stuff like that, it was just me and him. And but we did good. And you know, I was not, you know, I cannot say that I was a struggling mom or anything like that. I worked really, really hard. I made very good income for a single mom. I did really well in my career, and you know, I was able to provide really well for my son, my whole, you know, his whole life. But you know, it is challenging. You know, being a single parent is very, very challenging. I'm telling you. So if you have friends out there that are single parents, you know, lend a hand if you can, because trust me, it's hard. It's hard from all levels. You know, you know, because you're it. You know, and I was it for my son because we don't, I don't have family here in the state of Virginia. So you know, whenever Cardio got sick or when something happened, you know, I there was no downtime for me. I had to do what I had to do and make sure me and my son were okay at the end of the day. Um, you know, so you know, it is what it is. But um, just gotta, so I don't know, just do what you do. So anyway, guys, I really just wanted to do this quick video because what happened to me was I was like really taken back this morning because I was like, what the hell, and it it's just a little setback and it's gonna be fine. I always find a way, always did, always will. It's just who I am, and but I just don't want anybody else that has an Etsy shop to get caught in this either. So, you know, um, there's a lot of great things, that you can get overseas. I mean, and I am still considering of buying blanks from overseas, but the blanks that I buy will probably be blanks that I will use for my stuff, and maybe I'll create another site or something where maybe I can resell those blanks. But now, kind of like, concerned and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I'll I'll find a way and stuff like that. Let me see. You convinced me to open a Shopify account. So, I have not opened one yet, Hannah, but I think I am going to. I think I'm going to because, and something that I've heard a lot of people say is they say don't put your eggs all in one basket. And it's funny. I say that about finances when I talk to people about finances and stuff because a lot of folks sometimes come to me, and I'm one of those that I love to diversify my financial portfolio. I believe in buying into stocks. I believe in getting putting your money everywhere, 401k, savings, um, you know, retirement plans, I mean, I I'm everywhere, okay? My husband kind of laughs because, he tells his friends she's the CFO, the chief financial officer of this family. So because sometimes when he's talking with them, they're all like, she handles all the money. He's like, yeah, and he said, he says I ain't got no complaints. He says you see me driving a Tesla, so you see where I live, so we do okay, but it's like I've always tell people when it comes to your finances, pay yourself first, and always don't put your eggs in one basket. I need to start putting this in my business as well. I have to learn to up my prices a little bit and pay myself first. And I'm also going to have to learn to not put all my eggs in one basket, because right now all my eggs are in one basket, which is really um, the Etsy shop. And I'm going to have to probably myself open up a Shopify store so that way I can sell on that avenue as well. I know some people use eBay to sell there as well, but the way I'm thinking about eBay is it's probably going to be very similar as if you were selling on Etsy. The only thing that the reason why I geared towards Etsy is because Etsy has the audience, right? Because, people just go to Etsy and they'll search for items and they buy. So when you have a Shopify account, you're going to be the one that's going to have to drive the audience to that shop, which I'm kind of like, okay, I'm going to have to figure that out on how I'm going to be able to do that. And I probably will have to use social media, which I'm not that great at, but it looks like I'm going to have to learn. So I'm going to have to go out there and take some courses and stuff like that and really start learning on how this whole thing works and stuff so that I can get it going, So anyway, yeah, you do work hard. Stay positive. You always do, friend. Hey, Adrian, how you doing? Yeah, so I'm gonna keep chugging. I'm not quitting. I'm just not quitting. So I just wanted to share this because I don't want this to happen to anybody else, because we all work really, really hard. Life is a hustle, don't give up. You're going to have the days that are really going to bring you down. Today was one of my days, because that email really, I mean, pissed me off because I woke up in such a good mood. I went to the gym, sat in the sauna. I was feeling really good, and I even meditated. And then got in the car waiting for my food for my cup, and then that's what I read. So that changed the whole day for me, So I did work on a new design though. I came up with this one. This came out really cute. But like I said, I'm really not into the kids' clothes. But sometimes you gotta go where the money's at. And if this is what is in fashion now and this is what people are looking to buy, then this is what I'm gonna have to do. Right. So I'm just gonna have to, suck it up. So because that's what you do, when you run a business, you gotta suck it up. It's what the customers want. And if this is what's happening, then this is what's happening. But I am going to work a little more on my designs because I do really like doing the dinner napkins and the kitchen towels. That's really my thing for some reason. I feel like that's really where my talent's really at. And the reason why I don't want to really, I'm not attracted to the children's wear is for the simple fact of the blanks. I'm going to be honest. I like simple blanks. With the kitchen towels, I just offer two colors, which is the beige and the white. So it makes the inventory very easy for you to manage, right? So it's like, that's why I focus on that. Same thing with the dinner napkins. The dinner napkins are very easy for me to get. And there are a couple of colors, and I already found a brand that works really, really well with the embroidery machine. And, I have all the designs already pre-designed. All I have to do is change the initial to whatever the customer wants and let the machine do its magic. So the kitchen towel dinner napkins, those are really my favorites because I feel that, they're very easy to manage, with the children's wear, you're dealing with a bunch of different sizes. You're dealing with different styles. The girls have the puff sleeves, the boys have the regular sleeves. And then you're going to be dealing with a lot more inventory, right? Because sometimes what happens is you got to have the shirts in order for you to make the item. And then what happens is you have with a whole bunch of shirts. Like right now, I have a box full of shirts, right? And I'm like, what am I going to do with these shirts? So if I don't know, so I'll keep them. And I don't know how my son's going because he's planning on going to, to school for a long time. So I don't know if I'll be alive, if I have a grandkid or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm thinking, well, hopefully those white shirts don't turn yellow before he has some kids, So, I figured I could make some kid, shirts for the grandkids, I don't know if they're going to be a boy or girl, whatever. But I'll make it work. I will make it work, whatever it is. So guys, I just wanted to do a quick live and tell you guys what happened and share my experience because, it's important. And I don't just want to always share the good with you guys. Hey, Miss Max, I don't just want to share the good with you guys. Like I said, I want to keep my channel as honest as possible, because the thing is, if I'm going through stuff and, you might go through it, and I don't want you guys to, feel like you're alone or anything like that. And if there is a mistake that I made, I want to share that with you guys because, it helps you and hopefully you don't make that same mistake because it was a really bad feeling when I got that email. So anyway, so I am going to give you guys your evening back. And as always, I will see you guys on Friday at 8 o'clock. And thanks so much for tuning in and, hearing me vent a little bit and stuff like that and hear what happened and stuff. And I know I see some of you guys. Hey, Joanne, how you doing? Hey, Miss Max. I know you guys are probably like, what the heck happened? I don't just want to repeat the whole thing. So this video will stay on so you guys can rewatch it and stuff. But, I just want to show you guys, I just wanted to share because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake that I made. We're human. It happens, and, when you're starting something new, sometimes you don't know everything, right? And you're going to have these little bumps in the road. So this was a bump in the road for me. So I'm kind of like, that sucks, you know. So it's okay. It'll work out at the end. So anyway, you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys, and you guys take care. You know, I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye.